Starting now. See if we on. Showing that we on.
We on?
Yeah, it's not showing, saying nothing. Not showing nothing right now. There we go.
Okay.
President Vladimir Putin has
That's Shalom. Here we go.
Shalom, shalom.
Hey, Shalom, brothers. Hey,
Shalom.
we want to give all praises to Yahweh by
Yahweh.
Yashim, Yahweh Shah, by Yashim Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders that rule well. And peace and blessings to you brothers out there that's kicking word, sincerity, awesome truth. I got the beautiful brother here, lawyer from Miami.
Shalom.
You know, we wanted to come with a quick sit down, going into gaining experience with the truth. A lot of times, you know, in this walk of ours, you know, in your early steps, you kind of have a discontinue, if you will, with the truth in your life. Where the truth is your life. You're supposed to live within the truth. And within living within the truth, you gain experience with the understanding that you have accumulated with the words of the scriptures. You see, a lot of times when we're placed, you know, in these various problems, we tend to allude back to that flesh or how we should do things, you know, in the world. But that's, you know, contrary to what we was taught in the scriptures, man. We're taught to do what? To follow the will of Yahweh by Shem Shah, and not what we have deemed right or fit. You know, that's being carnal, man. That's being fleshly. We're not to do that in this truth of ours, man. You know, so starting off is would be appropriate if we started off with James, the first chapter. Hey, brother, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Um, just in to what you were saying, the Lord in His truth is going to put you through experiences. Okay, the scriptures say, "If thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." Okay, so if you're coming to serve the Lord, you're gonna be put through the ringer, man. You're gonna be tried. All right, you're gonna bear afflictions. You're gonna go through trials and afflictions and experiences, and the Lord is gonna use those things to test your character, to prove your character, and to refine your character. Okay, and so what the brothers would open up with was perfectly on point. Okay, all right, you have to go through experiences so that you can actually understand the value of applying the scriptures, understand the depth of what the scriptures is talking about, and also to refine your wisdom and your understanding and your faith and your character in the truth, man. Because at the end of the day, the Lord wants us to represent Him. Okay, and the Lord wants us to be partakers of His holiness, man. That's why the scriptures say, "Despise not the chastening of the Lord." Okay, don't despise affliction, don't despise the rebuke of the Lord, because the Lord loves those who He rebukes and chastens. Okay, and that He's going to use those afflictions and those trials and those experiences to refine you, to make you more like Yahweh Shai. All right, who is the Son whom the Lord well pleases? Okay, is well pleased. Okay, so yeah, brother, you on point, brother. I ain't got nothing much to say.
Nah, that's beautiful. Hey, check this out. I got this for you. Now, this is James 1 and 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation.
Mm.
For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which Yahweh hath promised to him that loved him. So it's telling you right there, blessed is the man that endureth temptation. And just for edification, I wish I had my strong concordance with me. I have it, but I don't want to go and get it and it take too dang long. But when you look up that word temptation, that's really a heavy definition, man. You know, and I'll look it up for you all now.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically it's going into tests. A test that comes from Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. You see? It says let me get that. It says perosmos,
Mm-hmm.
perosmos, which means an experiment, attempt, trial, proving, going into beautifully what the brother had just said earlier. The Most High is proving you whether or not you're worthy to be a ruler in His kingdom. trial proving the trial made of you by my bodily conditions, since conditions served as to test the love of the Galatians towards Paul. The trial of man's fidelity, integrity, virtue, constancy, and enticement to sin, temptation, whether arising from the desires of from or from the outward situations. And check this out. Now, the Most High, He controls everything, right? So a temptation is all about the what's the will of the person that's put in your place. The Most High puts testing, obstacles for you to pass, in hopes that you will pass. Versus the devil put these various temptations, around us for us to fall. So it says, if we read down in James, it states that the Lord doesn't test or doesn't tempt. Well, it seems a bit contradictory, but it's all about the intent of the person.
Exactly.
And the intent of the Heavenly Father is to do what? To build up that virtue that He wants in us, or to purge out impurity. Conversely, did you have something, brother?
No, I'm just listening, bro.
Conversely, what is Satan there to do? Well, he's there to take you out. You see, so we have to pass that test. An eternal temptation, this definition too, an eternal temptation to sin, of temptation by which the devil sought to divert Yahushua, the Messiah, from his divine errand and that's what Satan trying to do to us. He want to take us out of our what we're supposed to be doing, man. Which is following the will of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Of the conditions of things, the condition of things are of a mental state by which we are enticed to sin or to a lapse from the faith of holiness. Woo! Going back to that old man. Adversity, affliction, trouble sent by the Most High and serving to test or proves one character, faith, holiness. You see? So the Most High put these various, obstacles, if you will, in our way to build us up. So what do we have to do? Well, we have to fight the good fight, man. Do what we say we've been taught. And it starts in our everyday lives, man. You see, in our everyday lives. Back to the scriptures, though. James 1:12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, but when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which Yahweh hath promised to them that loved him. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High, for the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man, but every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. Do not err, my beloved brethren. So the fight is what? Us sticking to what we were taught, man. You see? And not going aside, because it feels good to the flesh. James 1:22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. So this thing of ours ain't just going out there on the highways and byways and telling everybody they need to get their crap together. This thing of ours is what? Maturing in the faith. You see, and that takes experience. That takes getting out there and living your life, man, with the word. You see? And that's a huge misconception that a lot of brothers have. A lot of brothers think that you're just supposed to be sitting in a lotus position, only eat when you're hungry, get get the job that's bare minimum, live, you know, with a very compartmentalized mindset, you see, without gaining any experience, man. It's one thing to hear that these women ain't nothing. It's nothing to experience a woman that ain't nothing, man. You see, conversely, you can experience a woman that's cool, that's down, but you're not gonna get that experience unless you go out there and live your life, man, with the understanding that you was taught. You see, how can, like the brother said before we started, how can you be a judge if you don't have any experience, man? That's like a contradiction. You need these various obstacles in your life, or 90 obstacle experiences in your life, to do what? To have that uh, sense of balance. You see, and that takes you doing what? Taking fades, taking L's. You see, you have some, brother.
Khan, I was gonna go to Romans chapter 5.
Excellent. I got you, brother.
Romans chapter 5, verse 1.
Slock, Peter Hustler. I got you out. You want me to
Khan.
read that for you, bro?
Now I'll read it.
Okay.
I got it on my I got my Bible with me.
Got.
It says, therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with the Most High through our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, by whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand and rejoice in hope of the glory of the Most High. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope. And hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of the Most High shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Spirit, which is given unto us. Okay, so it says that we glory in tribulations, not meaning that, when you're going catching through hell, you're going to walk around with a smile all the time. But we glory in it, knowing that the Most High is using that tribulations to work our patience. Okay, and through our patience, He's working our experience of being delivered out of temptation, or the Lord sustaining us through temptation, strengthening our spirit, so that we may bear the temptations that the Lord has given or put upon us. All right, or have allowed into our lives. Okay. All right, and it says, and patience experience, and experience hope. Okay, so from that experience, you gain hope. Okay, why? Because when you were going through the tribulations, going through the afflictions, going through the trials, and the test, okay, the Lord delivered you out of it. The Lord strengthened you through it. The Lord taught you lessons about yourself, about Him. Okay, He refined your character in the midst of it. Okay, He showed you that He was with you the whole
Right.
time, man. Okay, and so that builds up an hope of the Lord Yahweh Shai within your spirit. Your expectation of salvation, your expectation of trusting in the Lord has increased. Okay, because the Lord has given us faith in Yahweh Shai, and He means to increase that faith. He means to refine that faith. He means to double up on it. Okay, and the way that the Lord has that happen for us is by putting us through various trials and afflictions and circumstances and experiences. Okay, because the Lord wants us to believe. The Lord doesn't want us not to believe. Okay, the Lord doesn't want us to be hopeless. The Lord wants to increase our hope. Why? So that He may redeem His purchased possession, so that we can be delivered out of here. That's part of the Lord's glory, is to save us, man.
Right.
Okay. And it says in verse 5, it says, and hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of the Most High is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Spirit, which is given to us, man. So when you hoping in the Lord, you are not ashamed. You're willing to go through whatever it is that you need to go through, okay, for Yahweh Shai's sake, for the doctrine's sake, for the brotherhood's sake, for the sake of the gospel, man, of Yahweh Shai. Why? Because we understand that the Most High is with us. He's for us. He's given us of His Holy Spirit, okay, so that we may understand His truth, so that we may call upon His name, so that we may be partakers of this ministry, okay. And that's a sure sign that the Lord is going to save us out of this flesh, and the Lord is having mercy upon us, and He's going to deliver us from all our various afflictions and temptations, and from our enemies. Okay.
Got it,
So
bro.
that's it, bro. That's all I got on that.
No, that's beautiful, brother. It's beautiful. Hey, I wanted to grab this in Sirach real quick, going into what we had just brought up. And it says, Sirach 34, and start at 9. A man that hath traveled knoweth many things, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom. Going into what you just brought out, a man that has been through a lot of things, right? Seen a lot of things, you know, toiling in these truth of ours, catching hell and things of that nature. Well, what does that produce? Well, that it produces that experience. And if you look at that word experience in Romans, the 5th chapter, it really goes into character. You see, and just to prove what I said, I'll look it up. That word is dokemi, and that word dokemi means what? Proven tried character. You see, a proof, a specimen of tried worth. You see, so it's building up that character. It's through by what trials, man. And you get these a refinement of character by what? By going through certain things in your life, bro, and utilizing the scriptures. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know. Back
Right.
to Sirach 34 and 9. A man that hath traveled knoweth many things, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom. He that hath no experience knoweth little, but he that has traveled is full of prudence. That's why when the elders say that, man, you cast this being in for 3, 4, 10 years, you really don't know nothing. And that's the truth. How, what wisdom can we, can be compared to experience, man, of living certain things, living this truth out for 35 years, for 30 years, you see, 27 years, 20 something years, there's so many things that you have to, that goes throughout your life. It says that in Ecclesiastes that the rain falls on the just and the unjust alike. But what differentiates the two? The wisdoms of these scriptures, man. You see? So when certain family members die, you see your woman leaves you, your kids ain't acting right. That could make a man go crazy, man. That could make a man get into all types of drugs and all wicked habits. Conversely, a man with the scriptures was, what is he going to do? Yeah, he's going to be sorrowful, but he's going to increase in the spirit, man.
That's right.
When I verse 11, when I traveled, I saw many things and I understood more than I could express. And that's real, man. When you travel, you go to these like different camps and things like that, just man, you could go to another city. There's so many things that you just notice about people and vibrations and food, you see, that you can relate to the scriptures, man. That you can relate to yourself and you can refine yourself in, man. Man, I don't work, in a bit suit and tie atmospheres. I don't worked in factories. You know what I'm saying? I worked outside and worked inside. And it's funny because how different the mindsets of each person that you work with, it varies so much, man. The people who have money, they're bragging on going, to vacation, things of that nature. The people who are, poor, they're bragging on getting off work and getting toe up, bad habits. The people who are, poor, negative, things of that nature. Conversely, the people who are well off or trying to become well off, they're not thinking about being positive. You see? And so you being caught in that medium in this truth, you take from both aspects, man. But that again, that comes from what? Gaining that experience of going through of working, these various jobs, man. You know, and that's the beauty of his brotherhood. There's so many brothers that have different, walks that you could learn off of, man. That's why it's important, that we are staying close to that body because the the body is beneficial for the whole unit, man. So one brother might be a physician, one brother might be a construction worker. Both of those people you can learn from. You see, but it's all about being willing to gain that knowledge, man. And secondly, being willing to walk in the will of Yahweh by Hashem Shai. You see? Did you hear something, Mark?
Going back to James chapter 5.
Okay. James or Romans?
Nah, James chapter 5.
James 5. Okay.
Yeah.
James 5. All right.
James 5 and 10.
All right. All right. You want to read that for y'all?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
James 5 and 10. Take, my brethren, the prophets, whom have spoken in the name of the Lord, for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience.
Keep going.
Behold, we count them happy which endured. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of Yahweh, that Yahweh is very pitiful, and of tender mercy.
So you were talking about going through the highs and the lows, seeing the good and the bad, and experiencing different things. When Job was going through his afflictions, and I believe it was his wife that came up against him. He told her, shall we not receive good at the hand of the Lord? Shall we not receive evil? So the Lord is going to try you with the good and the evil, okay? Because we're really learning both sides, okay? All right, and by the Lord putting us through the ups and the downs, putting us through the good and the bad, we see in the highs and the lows, okay? We're learning the left hand of the Most High and the right hand of the Most High. All right, the Lord is really perfecting our understanding, okay? Which we're ultimately going to get, when we get into the kingdom. But what the Lord is doing, He's putting us through these things to prove us, all right, and to show Himself blameless. Lord, when we be part of the elect, all right, when He, Lord willing, if we be part of the elect, He exalts us, to be sitting at the right hand with Yahushua, man. Okay, because Yahushua went through the ups and the downs. He went through the highs and the lows. Okay, all right. So when the Lord exalts His elect, all right, He's putting them through the good and the bad, putting them through the trials, the afflictions, all right, to prove these are the men, all right, that served me no matter what. These are the men that applied the scriptures no matter what season of life they were in, no matter what afflictions they went through, no matter what the good was, what the bad was, all right, rainy days, sunny days, whatever, all right, they stuck to the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and they endured patiently and never let go of their faith. Okay, and that's the example that we have of Job, man. Job, he was on top, and he was serving the Lord, fearing the Lord, and when the Lord cast him down, he did not lose his integrity. Okay, and the Lord blessed Job with more than he had before. And guess what? At the beginning of the book of Job, the Lord told Shaitan, He was like, have thou not considered my servant Job, that there's not a man, more righteous than him, roughly paraphrasing, man. Okay, so the Lord boasted of Job, the Lord favored Job, man. And us in this truth, man, we believe and we hope, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, that the Lord favors us, man, because He has given us of His spirit, man. Okay, so the same way the Lord did Job and the same way the Lord did Yahushai, that's the same way He's going to do us, man. He favors us, but He's going to prove, okay, these are my men, these are my righteous elect, okay? And can nobody say nothing about them. I justified them. They're the ones who held on to their faith through the ups and the downs, through the highs and the lows, through the evil and the good, okay? And they applied my word, and they maintained their integrity. So they're going to be exalted, man. That's why the scriptures say in Romans 8, if so be that we suffer with Him, that we may be glorified together.
That's right. That's right, man. Most High will take you to a very low place, man, just to
Hmm.
see how you will react going to what the brother had brought out. And that's the times in which you're supposed to utilize your scriptures, not casting them down. You see,
God.
about wavering, like it talks about in James, the first chapter. You know, let's see here. First
God.
Peter, let's see here. First Peter's 5 and 7. Hey, bro, can you get First Peter's 1 and 7? Excuse me.
First Peter's 1 and 7.
Yeah, 1 and 6.
Okay.
1 and 6. First Peter 1 and 6.
First Peter's 1 and 6. It reads, it says in First Peter's 1 and 6, it says, "Wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptation,
Mm-hmm.
that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahushua Hamashiach."
Man, and what's also likened unto something that's more precious than gold? This wisdom, alluding to what Proverbs the 8th chapter, man. You see, so having wisdom, having understanding is going to be tested, man. When you go in these various trials and tribulations in your life, your wisdom and your understanding is going to be tried. And the fight is this: are you going to go back to the old ways of doing things, or are you going to continue on that path of righteousness, man? When the brother makes you upset, are you going to, continue in that wrath? You know, when a woman is in your face and she tell you something slick like, yeah, I'm just talking to somebody right now. I ain't going out with her, I'm just talking. You know, what are you going to do? Are you going to take it as she ain't got a man? Or she tell you something crazy like it's complicated? What are you going to do? You know, when a decree comes out that you don't agree with, or a brother handles a situation that you don't agree with, you see, now are you going to hold that against that man? You see, or you going to trust in the will of Yahweh Bashim Hawashai? All this goes back to that wisdom that was bestowed unto us, man. And the fight is this: whether or not we can maintain in this wisdom. And a part of that wisdom is having faith.
God. I was meaning to say as well,
God.
when we're going through these afflictions, man, of course it's gonna hurt. Okay, it's meant to hurt. A lot of the lessons, really, a lot of the best lessons you learn in life is through pain. Pain is one of the
Mm,
best teachers.
yep.
Okay. um and that's just what it is, because we're sensual creatures. We learn through our five senses, the way, what we see, smell, taste, feel, touch, you know so but nonetheless, man, when we're going through these temptations, man, the Lord says, don't faint, man. Okay. All right. Do not faint. Ye have not resisted unto blood, striving against sin. All right. You going through these temptations, know what it is that the Lord loves you. All right. He's reproving you. He's correcting you. He's decreasing, okay, or eliminating the traits about you that he does not approve of. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or he may be increasing or refining a virtue in you that he is well pleased with, or both. Because the Lord is manifold in his judgments, and the Lord is doing that. The scriptures say he compares us unto fine gold. Okay, he compares us unto precious stones. He compares us to his children, his bride. Okay, his sons and his daughters, man. The sons and daughters of the Most High. The Lord is actually going to give us spiritual bodies, man. That's what this is leading up to. This is leading up to immortality. This is leading up to an eternal inheritance, incorruptible, that fadeth not away. Okay, this is not leading up to us being destroyed. The Lord did not bring us in this truth to be destroyed, to fall out, man. All right, the Lord's purpose is for the good. The Lord's purpose is to show His love upon us, to show His mercy upon us, to deliver us, man. And that's what you have to have in mind when you're going through these temptations. You have to know that at the end of the day, that the Lord is doing it for our good. Okay, that's why the scriptures say rejoice. It doesn't mean that you're going to be smiling all the way through it. It just means that internally, okay, in the inner man, you know, all right, that it's for a good purpose, and you're happy, all right, that the Lord is putting you through these situations so that you may be more well pleasing unto Him. Okay, so that's just something I was just meditating on. I just wanted to put that out there through the Spirit.
Now, God, I got a quick one for you too. Going to what you just brought out. This is Sirach 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Going into what you just brought out, brother. You know, when you are going through these trials and tribulations, you have to know that the Most High bringing you through these things to refine you, to make you a better person. And it's not a good thing. It's not a good feeling, man. You know, one of the worst feelings out there is to know that you're wrong in a situation. Like you dead ass wrong, and that sucks. You know, you have to eat that. You know, and that regret can consume you. You know, or that Satan can come in, you know, and use that dang on anger to make you justify yourself. And a lot of times in the battleground for a lot of this wisdom that we are taught, really it's a brotherhood, man. Because Proverbs says that iron, like Lucy paraphrasing, like as iron sharpens iron, so does man sharpens man's countenance. You see, so when you're going through these, you know, and once you know, around brothers, things of that nature, there's gonna be times to where y'all gonna have fallouts. And a lot of times you could be wrong in a matter, man. And the other brother could be wrong too. You see, but what are you supposed to focus on? You're supposed to focus on what Yahweh Shemi Hashai build onto you, not Nick, man. You see, the biggest thing in this truth of ours, when you are brought low, is to focus on what is the Most High trying to reveal unto me. And a lot of times that answer is not gonna come immediately. A lot of times you have to endure for sometimes years for him to really understand, for you to really understand what he's trying to gather. I mean, what he's trying to get you to grasp. That's what I'm going to say. But being chill for taking things positively, you know, not walk around like, oh man, I'm getting my ass beat. I love this. Nah, that's not what we talk about. What we talk about is saying, you know what? I know Yahweh Shai has my best interest in mind. You see.
That's right.
Go ahead, Howard.
Now I was gonna say that's why I said in James chapter 1, let patience have her perfect work.
Right.
Work. It's gonna take time.
And he's not gonna move in your time.
Right.
And things aren't gonna just turn around when you think it's gonna turn around. You're gonna have certain game plans that you have that you have in your mind that you think the Most High is gonna let you do, and he gonna spun do it. You know, gonna knock it right out your hand, man. So what do you have to do? Adapt. You have to just adapt, man. That's all we can do, and keep going. One of my favorite songs, "Loose Ends," is "You Can't Stop the Rain," meaning, and I believe they're from Jamaica, from islands. So I'm thinking that's a phrase or a cliche that means hey, you can't control anything, man. You have to have that mindset in this life. Like, look, all you can do is just do what you can and hope for the best. And believe. That's it. You see? And believe that Yahweh Shai has your best interest in mind, bro. Did you have some, brother? I'm sorry.
Nah, brother. I'm just listening to what you have to say, brother. It's like the spirit is heavy, man. But you were saying believe and hope that the Most High, has the best in best for you, in mind. And we got every reason to believe that. Okay, we have every reason to believe that the Lord has given us this truth. He's given us this ministry. He's given us his brotherhood. He's given us his name. All right, his son's name. He gave us Yahushai, man. The scriptures say, if he that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not freely with him give us all things?
That's right.
That's a rhetorical question. And the answer is, of course, he's going to give us all things, man. He that overcometh and keepeth my words unto the end shall inherit all things, and I will be his father, and he shall be my son, man. That's what we're in this truth for. We're in this truth to be made manifest as the children of the highest. Okay, that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Right.
So the Lord got to put us through things, man. He got to put us, refine us, perfect us. He ain't just gonna hand it to us. He got to put us through things, but that don't mean that he hate us. I mean that he love us. He want to more abundantly show unto the heirs of his promise the immutability of his counsel, like it says in Hebrews, man.
That's right. That's right. Beautiful.
You got more on that, Sirach?
One more. I was just sitting here reading actually. Verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. You said that earlier. You said that earlier. How we are likened unto fine gold. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way right and trust in him. Man, bro, that's what you got to do. Trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait on his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. And you said, let patience work its perfect work. Quoted that from James, the first chapter. You see? So you have to continue in that fear of Yahweh Shemel Shah. You see? And constantly know that, hey, man, if I fall off, I don't do the right thing, the Most High gonna destroy me, man. You see? So yeah, we're doing this, for a blessing, but we're doing this to not to receive that curse from Yahweh Shemel Shah too.
God.
Get your tail destroyed, man. So shoot. That's not the party I want to go to. I want to get saved, man. Back in First Peter 1, and this could be the last one unless you had some, bro.
I thought we got one more and then we could close out.
Okay, beautiful. First Peter 1:7. That the trial of your faith being much more precious than of gold that perishes, though it be tried with fire, might be found upon unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahushua Mashiach, whom having I seen ye love, and whom though now ye see him not, yet believing, yea, rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of that the grace that should come unto you, searching what manner of time the spirit of Mashiach, which was in them, did signify, when it testified beforehand the suffering of Mashiach and the glory that should follow. That's right. So we live in the times where it's a huge it's a huge chance that, bro, we about to get out of here. This is something. This is big because these are all the prophets. These are what all the prophets wanted to see, man. This is something that even Moses wrote about. You see, but we have to believe it, and according to prophecy, it's on point. That that's the spirit of Yahushua right there. The spirit of prophecy. That's how you know that he's real. We're able to diagnose everything that's going to happen by the scriptures. We've been preaching since I've been in the camp, and I know before that, but since I can attest to this, For 10 years now, we've been preaching that Russia's gonna come up against America. And what are you starting to see? Well, the brother from Vegas just did a sit down like yesterday, showing that a torpedo, a American torpedo, was shot down from basically a Russian torpedo, man, which is an act of war, bro. You see, you have a Persian shooting down an American drone. That's another act of war. So you have Magog and you have Persia coming together to do what? To fight against Babylon, man. So there's big things that's going on in the spirit. You know? Jumping down to verse 13. Wherefore go gird up the loins of your mind, be sober and hope to the end of the grace that is to be brought unto you as at the revelation of the Yahweh Mashiach. So we have to go up our mind and be sober, man. You know, and get ourselves ready to be saved, man. As obedient, verse 14, as obedient children, not fashioning yourself according to the former lusts in your ignorance. You see that? So now that we're in this truth, we can't go back and revert back to how we should do things in the world, man. You see? That's not what this knowledge is about. This knowledge is about growing in this truth to better humans, man, to better followers of Yahweh Shah. All right, and that takes gaining that experience. Yes, my brother.
I got this precept in Hebrews chapter and verse 35.
You
It
see
says
Hebrews what 35? I'm sorry.
Hebrews 10 and 35. So that's my fault.
10. No, you good. Seems like my laptop got to cut it, you know. God. I got you, brother.
Con.
This is Hebrews. Oh, sorry. It's like, go ahead.
No, you got it, bro. You got it.
God. Hebrews 10 and 35. Cast not away, therefore, your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward.
Keep going.
For ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of the Most High, ye might receive the promise.
God. And what comes with that patience, like Romans chapter 5, is from patience comes experience. So we have need of patience so that we may gain that experience, all right, so that we may gain that hope that maketh not ashamed, all right, that expectation that shall after ye have done the will of the Most High, ye might inherit the promise. Okay, so that's what it's all leading up to, man. We must maintain our integrity through these experiences. All right, we got to keep holding on to our faith. We got to continue to apply the scriptures. The Most High is going to continue to put us through these things to refine our character, to refine our faith. Okay, to build us up. Okay, and the whole point is so that we don't be destroyed and so that we may be delivered. And if we fall backwards, we're gonna be destroyed. But if we continue to go, we're gonna be delivered.
God.
You can read verse 37 through 39 because it got some more meat on that.
Okay, God. Verse 37. For yet a little while, and he's like it that shall come with terror, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry. Now the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul.
Go. That's it. Okay, so we are not of them that draw back into perdition. Okay, you're going through these experiences. All right, you have to apply the scriptures. You got to continue to go, keep going, man. You don't want to fall back and draw back so that you can be destroyed, man. because that's all that's gonna lead to. Okay, that's all it's gonna lead to you is you eating a missile or dying out here in Jacob's trouble or something. Okay, all right. But we are of them that believe unto the saving of our souls, man. So the Most High pretty much has given us good reasons on both sides, man. Okay, to continue in this truth, man. All right, the fear, all right, of the destruction of the wrath of the Lord, and on top of that, the mercy and the salvation that we have promised unto us, man. All right, those are two extremely powerful motivators, man. The Lord has every reason, man. Okay, to continue to believe and strive and hope, man, and go through these experiences cheerfully. Again, it's not gonna feel good, you know, when you're going through it all the time. Our scriptures talk about that, you know, it's not joyous but grievous. All right,
That's
but
it.
afterward, it's going to yield that peaceable fruit of righteousness to them which are exercised thereby.
That's it. That's right, brother.
God, it's all positive pressure, man. It's all positive pressure, positive reinforcement. Okay, the fear of the Lord and the mercy that we have promised to us, man. It keeps you on that straight and narrow, puts that positive pressure on you. Okay, it's pressure that makes diamonds, man. All right, you got to put the pressure on it. Okay, when you melting a sword or a weapon, okay, you have to beat it down underneath pressure. You got to put it in a mold. You got to press it down. All right, so that you can come out with a fine tuned instrument.
That's right. That's right.
God.
Yeah, another precept, brother.
Nah, that's it, bro.
God, I think the spirit point was made.
God.
Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. We're gonna give out all praise to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah by Hashem Karpadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the world, and peace and blessings to you brothers out there that's kicking his word, sincerity and truth, and more so willing this was edifying. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.